Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we are continuing our look at the miniatures from the starter set for Star Wars Shatterpoint. Now, this is actually after I've already completed assembling the figures. So, we took a look during the unboxing at just the raw miniatures on the sprues, but I've been able to put them together, and so I figured I would give you my thoughts on how well they went together, what I think of the actual sculpt itself, and what I'm looking forward to on painting them. So before we get started, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, whether it's miniatures, board games, role-playing, or anything in between, and I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. Now, also down below, there is going to be a couple of links. There's going to be an affiliate link where you can pick up Star Wars Shatterpoint yourself, or if role-playing is your thing, I've also got a link for Drive-Thru RPG, which they're affiliate links. They do help out the channel, but you're not required to use them. We just appreciate you being here and hanging out with us. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing I want to look at is the actual cards that you get for the individual characters. Now, these are all actually provided on the Atomic Mass Games website. So if for some reason you lost a card, you never got it, you do have an option to still get the cards and be able to have them available. So here you can see the three cards that make up Lord Maul's squad in the Shatterpoint base set. Now, just to point out a few things in case you haven't seen any of the other videos, just so you understand how a squad is built. In Shatterpoint, you will actually take two squads to build your strike team, and that is all based on the individual squad. So each squad is going to have a primary character. So in this case, we've got Lord Maul, a secondary character, Gar Saxon, and then a supporting unit, which usually is a couple of miniatures. There are some where it's got multiple figures on a base, but we'll look at those later. And so generally you're going to have about 3 to 4 miniatures in the squad, and that'll with a total of about 8 for your strike team. Now, in the case of the primary and the secondary unit, those are usually named characters, whereas your supporting unit is going to be much more on the generic side. So for Lord Maul, what we're going to see in the upper left corner is that he provides 8 squad points. So you'll notice that the other 2 units have the PC stands for point cost. So basically you get to total up to 8 point cost worth of secondary units and supporting units, and add that together within the squad points of the unit. Now, you keep in mind you can only take 1 secondary and 1 supporting unit. You're also going to have a faction symbol, or not a faction symbol, an era symbol. So in this case, this is from the Clone Wars era. There's also a symbol for the Galactic Civil War or the original trilogy era. Finally, you'll have force points that your particular character adds to the unit. These can be used to pay for special abilities and other things. I haven't fully read through the rules, but that is essentially what each card is going to be used for to build your squad. So, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the actual models themselves. If I can figure that out. There we go. All right, so unfortunately bad timing, but we're going to start with the backside of Lord Maul. So clearly he starts off with his famous double-ended lightsaber. And as I've been saying in all of these videos, these lightsabers absolutely terrify me. This one probably the most of all because of the fact that it's one very large lightsaber and it's very thin, very delicate. Now, it is made out of regular model plastic like you would find from Games Workshop or in regular model kits, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be easy to break. So, I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I am fully expecting it to happen at some point. Now, I don't know if this is this was how I don't remember this being the case in episode 1, but it does look like he has cybernetic legs, which come from later in the Clone Wars cartoon era. But he does still have the horns all over his head, and even some of the tattoo is detailed into the face. So that's actually going to be good as far as painting. Assembling the miniature, again, as I've said in previous videos, these miniatures have been very easy, very well to very friendly to work with for assembly. Pretty much every piece has a pin and a slot that it fits into only one particular way, and I've been using model cement, which does also help hide some of the joints. So overall, I've been very, very happy with these builds. And Darth Maul, Darth Maul's going to be a bit of a challenge to paint because of I'm not sure if it's tattoos or just the natural skin coloring for his species, but it is what it is. I still think it'll be fun to paint. Biggest thing, like I said, that I'm worried about is just how do I store this guy with his lightsaber, but that's a future me problem. So overall, pretty happy with this. Now that I'm looking at it on the close-up from the camera, I might have to fix his shoulder a little bit, but that was a me problem. Overall, still happy with this model. All right, next up we've got Gar Saxon, the Merciless Commander. Now, this one is actually one of the, I'm going to say, more complex models that they provided. Not necessarily in the difficulty of the build. The build was fine. But they actually give you essentially two completely different ways to build it. It's got both the helmeted version and the bare head, and then also completely different weapon options. You can, like, he's got like a force field, like buckler kind of shield that he can have, and pistols in his hands. I mean, this guy actually has a lot more variety, but I really like the sniper rifle, and as I've said before, I usually go with helmeted characters, so that was kind of a no-brainer for me. But overall, it was fun. I like the posing on the jetpack. I like the posing with the sniper rifle. Overall, this is going to be a fun model. I like the way it looks, and I think I just noticed a problem that I might have missed a piece, and I think the part is gone. Well, that's awkward. You saw it here live, folks. Yeah, I'll let it come back around. This has been one of my bigger complaints, is that there's a bunch of teeny tiny pieces. So if you look at the forearm, yeah, there's a piece that goes right there, and I missed it, and I didn't assemble that. That's, oh, now I'm angry. And you saw it here live, folks. Yeah, overall, I like the model, but I'm gonna hate myself when I have to paint it. So, I will figure something out. I might call the company and see what I can do. Anyways, sorry about that, folks. All right, so that is Gar Saxon. Despite my faults, I like him. I think it'll be a good model. All right, and last up, we have the Mandalorian Super Commandos. These come two to a supporting unit. You get a male and female version with the male on his rocket pack and the female taking a kneeling stance. Essentially, these are the opposite of the Clan Kreese Mandalorians. I'm gonna screw up saying that probably forever, but overall they're good. There's some nice poses, not as much action oriented, a little bit more. I want to call it like observational or defensive, but otherwise it was still fine. I did think it was kind of funny when I was putting the female together. She has these armor plates across her thighs, which I did not realize at first. I thought it was just going to be the bare legs, but nope, she does have some giant armor plates going on there. They look good. Not complaining. It was just kind of funny. I'm like, oh, I think I have all the pieces. Nope, I was missing some stuff. So overall, though, the builds are good. They actually look a little bit more heroic as opposed to dark side. So I do think that's kind of interesting. But I think Mandalorians have gotten a massive character refresh recently anyways, so but overall they're good miniatures. I think the female's head is a little on the large side, but overall I don't really have any complaints. They're fun models, they look good, and as always I'm just going to be excited to get some paint on them. Everything pinned up just fine. There's not a whole lot of seams that I'm seeing on the close up. So overall, yeah, it was a good set, and yeah, well, honestly, with all of these, I'm actually really looking forward to getting them painted up. So that is the Mandalorian Super Commandos. All right, so overall, as you probably noticed in the videos that I've done for Shatterpoint, I'm really liking the miniatures. I like the 40mm scale. It's going to be interesting to see how they paint up, at least how well I can do it painting them up. But we'll get into that in some of the painting streams that I do on Mondays and Fridays. Feel free to join us. It's early in the morning for those of us here in the United States, but always just a nice friendly chat talking about just life and gaming, and happy to have you that show up there. So regardless, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, we'll talk to you next time.